Good afternoon. We are here for Manhattan Community Board 11, Public Safety and Transportation Committee. We're hopefully going to call this meeting to order at 6:37 p.m. But first, let's go over the ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. For CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand through Zoom, click the participants icon and you will find the raise hand function there. Members should not engage in back and forth discussion. That's like me. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion. For members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized.
Now we've done call order. I can just do roll call if you're ready.
All right, so do we call to order again or?
Oh, yeah, you call this order. So now we can do roll call.
Oh, great. Cleve, could you take the roll, please?
Will do. Okay, everyone and members of the public, just as a reminder, there are 11 members on this committee, 6 are needed for quorum. Jose Altamirano. Carlos Diaz requested excuse. Pascal Hano, the president. Thank you. Wanda Hopkins.
Present.
Thank you, Wanda. Christina Johnson. Jewel Jones.
Present.
Thank you. Sage Mason. Claudia Perez. Valerie Ponte. Don Sanders.
Here.
Thank you. Michelle Wilsar Clement.
Present.
Thank you. We currently have 5 members present. We don't have quorum as of right now.
Should, everyone can wait for another 10 minutes or how do we do?
So from here on, we enter recess and we'll pause the recording and we'll wait for 15 to 20 minutes to make quorum. And once that time limit passes, we don't have quorum, the meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
But then of course, someone shows up virtually or in person, we can conduct the meeting.
Wonderful, thanks.
So right now, we're going to go into recess and pause this recording.
So we now have quorum, so we're really excited to adopt the October 2024 agenda. If there's no one opposed to adopting the October 2024 agenda, and if I hear nothing, wonderful, our agenda is adopted. The 4th bullet, adoption of September 2024 minutes, that falls to me to bring that to the committee. So I don't have anything for you to adopt, but I will.
The draft was made. I mean,
okay.
It's up to you guys. Honestly, we do have the discussion of making minutes more robust.
Oh, okay.
The draft was provided to the members. If you want to omit and of course work on that and then provide it for the members next month, that's an option you have as well.
That is golden, Cleve. I just made my whole evening. So if you want to please adopt the general minutes from September 24, that would be great. Anybody opposed to that? No. Great. Hearing no opposition, we'll move right into the agenda. Let's see. Oh, we talked about this. So, and I don't know if Michelle wants to chime in. So, as you guys might know, we were interested in a residential parking permit for our neighborhood, and there's a number of city council members who have already acted on behalf of their neighborhood. We haven't had an elected focus on that here, but we are going to be trying to move that forward, because even before congestion pricing, we do have people who come who don't even work, let's see, now I'm not talking about teachers, but don't work in the neighborhood. They park and then they go downtown, right? So then people who live here don't have anywhere to park. And we anticipate that if congestion pricing comes online, we will become a parking lot neighborhood. And so we see that this has worked well in Washington Heights. And I think there was another community board we were going to speak to about this. But yeah, I think we want to perhaps support this. Is this a city council bill? I think,
Yes.
yeah.
Michelle?
I think we want to support this bill, and I don't know if we can count on, I don't know how Diana would feel about this, but we would like to push forward for this neighborhood to have, residential parking permit. So I don't think we can vote or take a motion or anything on that.
No, this is just an announcement, so, yeah.
Oh, okay, but just so you know, we're still thinking about it because, other communities are taking this seriously. If anyone's been up to Washington Heights, the triple parking and, you know, it's really difficult. So,
I brought this issue up with the Manhattan Borough President's Office.
yes, what did he
It's
say?
over by me on 96 in Lexington. They've been doing it for years.
Well, yeah, and people park in your lot too, right?
Mhm.
So you're at 97th. You have two
90
lots.
See, one is on 98th and Lex, and the other one is on 99th and Lex.
Okay, okay. I'm just curious, does NYCHA offer you a discounted price if residents want to park there? Or is it?
Yeah, I guess you could say it's discounted.
Oh, okay.
I mean, considering what the rate is at other parking lots, we
Mhm.
pay about $1 a day.
Okay,
Right,
okay. But that's more than you used to pay.
Well, we used to pay $5.
Right,
So it's like quite a jump,
Yeah, it is.
but it's still, a great discount considering what parking goes for in the neighborhood.
So just for context for the people on the phone and the people who are here, we have gotten complaints about that area because 97th Street has built up a lot. I think we had discussions with the mosque at some point because there was residents whose cars were blocked as people came to pray. So my understanding is that we're moving in the right direction with that. We don't have as many issues, but you'll have to remind us. But we definitely, I think, need to look at that in your area as well, because you have people below our community board also parking
Right,
north
exactly.
of their community board.
Yeah, and the
then-
mosque as well.
Right.
Taxi cabs, they park all over the neighborhood.
Did we run out of time?
I mean,
I'm just stating for the record that one of the areas that's concerned about having a residential parking permit system would be over 97 and Lexington at Lexington houses.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention again.
Can I just wait?
Go ahead, Ju.
Have we reached out to our councilperson / deputy speaker to hear her opinion or comments or such?
I think that's Michelle. I don't know. I know that, is that her? Oh, she's in. I know that, about a decade ago, Melissa and Diana came together and they, were very interested in continuing like a bike lane, no car, proposition. So I haven't heard differently, but I don't want to speak over the half. But my understanding was that this board and others were very excited about getting rid of cars in our district.
I just want to just,
Yeah,
opine on this and.
I'm gonna let Michelle have a seat. I don't think we reached out to Diana about a permit. A residential parking permit.
We seal our council.
But we can come back to that if you want. We can come back to that.
No, that was meeting with, the Queens Board,
Right.
trying to get a hold of Del Rosa
Uh-huh.
in, West Harlem's area.
Yeah.
And then trying to get a hold of the Manhattan Borough President to find out where he stood.
Right.
And I literally just got a message
Okay.
from one person. But I was trying to get a hold of all day, he was in meetings all day, he apologized.
Okay. Well, I'm turning everything over to our chair, Michelle Wiltshire Clinton.
And, we should have quorum.
Yes, yep.
Oh, the person that usually needs the water is not here, but I'm putting it there anyway.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Welcome. Hello. And then everyone.
So I think we had a good conversation about the first business. So I leave it to you, the 2024 elections ballot proposal for. If you wanna start there.
Okay.
Let
I
me start taking this.
wanted to make sure that, people knew about this ballot proposal. And I'm just gonna read it as it is here, and I take all my sticky notes off of it. The proposal would require additional public notice and time before the city council votes on laws respecting the public safety operations of the police, correction, or fire department. I apologize if I was reading that a little bit quickly. Voting yes will require additional notice and time before the council votes on laws respecting public safety operations of the police, correction, or fire department. Voting no leaves laws unchanged. And what this proposal means is that the council must give 30 days notice before voting on public safety laws that impact the police department, Department of Correction, or the fire department. And during this time, the mayor and affected city agencies may also hold public hearings to hear additional public input.
Oh.
And if this proposal does pass, the mayor and affected agencies could use the 30-day period to hold public hearings on the proposal. I just wanted to bring this to light because there's so many proposals when we get into that voting booth, and sometimes we don't know what these proposals are, and we're seeing it for the first time. And I think we should just be able to know what we're voting about and have some sort of feeling behind it before we get into that booth, which I know each person here is going to go into that booth to vote. I just wanted to put it out there. Yes.
So yeah, so I'm aware of the proposals, I've read them all, and for this one, personally speaking, it seems to put onerous and unnecessary steps in a perfectly fine process. So I'm a no on this, because again, it seems unnecessary and burdensome. In terms of adding these additional steps to a process. Personally speaking.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is the first I'm hearing of proposal 4, because I thought it was proposal 1 that was supposed to go on.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, okay, 'cause I remember.
I'm just highlighting this one because it's all about public safety.
Right, okay, so I heard what she said about this is adding more steps to something that's already perfect, so to speak, that doesn't need it. What exactly does the 30 days, does the 30 days help the public to make a decision, or does it just give the mayor and the police and the fire department just more time to twiddle their fingers?
Well, this is more so putting more power into the mayor's position.
Oh. I think he could have power.
I'm not swaying yes
No,
or
no, no,
no,
I'm
I'm
just
just saying
thinking, you know,
that
because,
that's what this is.
yeah, I think the mayor's office has, over the years, changed a lot. And I think they've overstepped what they should be doing. Personally, as a teacher, I don't think they should have say in the school. I think that should belong to the board, but that was something that they added to their job description. And it seems like every time we get a new mayor, they add more stuff to give them to do to affect our lives, and things they already have to do, they're not doing that well.
Okay, well, I think this is a new one, but each person can take their position on it. However, I just wanted everyone to know about it, and also it's kind of mirroring what we do here, where we listen to a topic, and then 30 days later, that is when we vote on it, after we've had time to deliberate. However, how many of us actually do deliberate? I'm just putting it out there. Go ahead.
I just want to say, for those unfamiliar with those ballot proposals, I believe there's 6 of them. The city council website does a good job explaining all 6. And they do kind of take a position, but at the same time, they give it to you plainly as it is, so you can understand what you're voting for. So if you're unfamiliar, just go to the city council website. Optimus also has those articles on it too that gives a bit breakdown of files.
Thank
you. And I got this from, and yeah, NYC votes. It's being mailed to you. Please read them all. Okay, so let us go to the next. Oh, yes, I would love to know what's happening in our neighborhood now because it took me a while to get here. So do we have any city agency partners here from the NYPD? Let's start with the NYPD 2325 and PSA 5. And I know that I saw Detective Powers on the line.
Hello.
Detective Powers.
How's everybody doing?
I love saying Detective Powers. Hi, Detective Powers.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Fine, thank you. Please, you have the floor.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great night. So here are the stats for the period of 10/7 to 10/13. The 7-day period, we have 0 murders. We had 1 rape that was domestic violence related. We have 22 robberies. One of the robberies that did stood out was we did have a robbery in front of the migrant shelter. This happened on Sunday around 11 p.m. One of the migrants was robbed. He was from Turkey. He was robbed by 5 Hispanic males. They're still outstanding at the time. They believe to be around the area. The investigation is still pending. They're still looking at video cameras and all types of surveillance cameras over there. But they took his phone and his wallet by knife point. Thankfully he wasn't hurt, but they're still investigating. Felonious assaults, we have 32 for that period. Burglaries, we are up by 85% with 13 compared to 7. Grand larcenies, we have 33. Grand larceny autos, we have 4. The numbers for grand larceny autos have dropped dramatically. We did inform people that most of the grand larceny autos did happen from delivery drivers like Instacart, Uber. They would they won't take their keys out the car. They would deliver food, they would go upstairs into the buildings or the houses, but they would leave their key in the cars, and that's how their cars got stolen. But thankfully, the numbers have lessened and, we haven't been seeing a lot. One of the reasons why crime has decreased is because we've been having additional foot posts. A lot of these posts, they're from outside resources, meaning that these were officers from all over the city. We put additional foot posts on 116 in Lexington because we know that's a high crime and high drug area. We put additional posts on 117 and 3rd. We have a lot of foot posts on 126th Street between Park and Lexington because we know that center is over there. And we also get a lot of phone calls from there. And also 126 and Madison. And so far, that's it for my crime report. And I do want to remind everybody that we are having a Halloween event for the kids again. Our trunk or treat is October 30th. It starts at 3 p.m. If anybody would like to participate, volunteer, we're accepting candy donations. And if anybody have a car, they can also give out, candy from the trunk of their cars. Or if you have a table, you want to represent your business, your organization, you're more than welcome. Just reach out to my email address. I'll put it inside the chat. And if anybody have any questions, I'll be willing to take.
And Renaissance School of the Arts will be performing at the trunk or treat.
Yes, we will have performances at the trunk or treat.
That's my turn. My turn.
Have Pilar.
Hi.
Have you finished? Detective
Yes, I'm
Powers?
done. Yes. I'm
Okay.
done. So if anybody have any questions, you're more than welcome to, ask.
I just wanted to say that Detective Powers is from the 25th precinct. Yes, Scott.
I have a question comment. I noticed when you were reading one of the stats, that you said one of the, crimes was domestic violence related. I think today is domestic violence awareness. I, am not wearing any purple, but I just wanted to see if you guys have any thoughts, on how our community can, support and, understand what the issues are in our, in Board 11. And I see the purple is
Yes.
Purple.
incorrect.
So yes,
so-
it's actually Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We do have our domestic violence officers, they go around and they do outreaches. We also have like a lot of domestic violence, events that's happening in our precinct. That's one thing I did forget to mention. We are having one this Saturday. Is going to be on 115 between 5th and Madison.
Is that outside?
Yes, that's gonna be outside. So it's a full street closure. It's hosted by Warm. So it's the borderline of the 23rd and the 25th precinct. But yes, we do have our domestic violence officers. They often do like outreaches. If anybody wants to join them, or if anybody wants more information, again, I'll leave my email inside the chat and you can reach out to me and I'll connect you with them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
problem.
It's a hand raise.
And yes,
Oh, do you have any flyers that you can share with us?
I have in my email. So again, I'm gonna send my email inside the chat and then connect with me and I'll send you the flyer
Thank you.
right now.
Madam Chair, I have a question for Detective Powers.
and that sounds like Jose.
Hello, Jose.
Detective, oh, fancy, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I was getting some questions and texts and all this about like a big bottleneck on First Avenue and Third Avenue coming in. Do you know what's happening in that general area? Like it's like bumper to bumper. I don't know if it's the bridge or something, but something's going on. People are telling me they're stuck for like an hour going up from 116 to the First Avenue bridge.
Not construction, all right? It's just like bumper to bumper traffic.
I'm not sure. They just told me they were stuck, which is rare because it's already 7. I mean, usually there's traffic, but they say it's like something strange.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, so let me get the right street. So when I call downstairs, I can.
It's going up all of First Avenue, all of Third Avenue too. I think but First Avenue is just, they said it's bumper to bumper, everything is backed up. It took them about an hour to go from 116 to 123rd. They're still not at the bridge, so they can't really tell me what they saw, but it was curious. I don't know if there's anything going on, an exercise,
I'm
or
not
there's
sure,
something.
but I'll find out about that right now. If you
Thank you so much.
Okay. You said First and Third Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And across the bridge somehow some weird things are happening.
Let me see if they're doing like a checkpoint or something like that. I'll ask.
Thank you.
Okay.
You can avoid that bridge coming back during the meeting time.
Because I gotta get on the bridge too, so yeah, let me. But I'll definitely ask. If anybody else don't have any questions, then I'll just call down to the desk and find out. So
Any more questions? Thank you so much.
no problem.
So Laura, are you gonna be talking about the event last night?
I can, but you want me to talk about that now?
No, I wanted to find out if she was going to.
Oh, so last night at the 25th Precinct Community Council, so I'm also the secretary of the 25th Precinct Community Council.
For the 2-5 precinct.
The president is also here.
Hi Kyoka, oh, Kyoka could do it, hi Kyoka.
Oh, Kyoka's there, okay, I'm sorry,
Where's your picture? Oh, there you
but Kyoko, before you start, I just wanted to find out if the 2-3 is here. And PSA 5? Just making sure. Kyoko, you have the floor. Kyoko?
Yes, ma'am. Hi. Give my screen. I am not feeling well today. I'm a little under weather, but so last evening, I just kind of want to start backwards. We had a farewell for Deputy Inspector Masonette. We are not sure when he is leaving. However, we do know he is leaving. We had to plan the event based off of his time with us. And so we are appreciative to CB11 for coming out and presenting him an award of appreciation alongside of the Manhattan Borough President's Office. So thank you. I'm going to cut my screen off, so forgive me. But we were expecting Jose to be there as well. That was my question. Yeah, so that's all I had to say.
Unfortunately, Jose's also under the weather.
Oh, sorry, Jose. Didn't want to call you out, but I had to. But no, so we
I love you
appreciate
too, Kilka.
we totally appreciate you guys for coming out. We are doing interviews for a new CO on the 23rd, which is Wednesday. Wanted to make sure that people understood that the attendance is basically a body presence because I actually do all of the questions. The questions are already pre-selected. The chief of department's office will be up and managing and moderating. We have two captains that will be interviewing. Our current captain, Eric Carrasquillo, who is our executive officer, and Captain Urena, I don't know his first name offhand, but that will be on Wednesday.
Sorry, Michael Urena. Yeah.
Thank you, Powers. But yeah, so that is happening on Wednesday, but our farewell was last night. We're not telling you that Deputy Inspector Raul Masonette will be leaving tomorrow, but he will be leaving at some point, and we wanted to get him farewell while he was still with us. So thank you.
Thank you, Kilka. It was absolutely a heartwarming event. And I felt extremely honored to be in that room at that time, at that moment. And I just hope that Detective, I'm sorry, no, I'm getting all for club. Okay, I just hope that he knows how well he has done to keep us all together. The Deputy Inspector Masonette has done a good job with the 2-5 and with all the people in the community. Hopefully, the next person that will not fill his shoes, but will be in his shoes, will be able to help us complete our community and keep us safe. Thank you for the work that you're doing, Kilka. That was a beautifully well done event. And I hope that you can come to even more of our gatherings here at the Community Board 11. Anyone have any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Who's that grown up man sitting there next to you? Hi there, all grown up, aren't you?
That's my grandson.
Beautiful. All right, so let us go on to our next area.
So,
which is,
I just want to give everybody an update in regards to traffic.
okay, yes,
Mr. Jose.
please, thank you.
So yeah, they are having a bridge operation detail right now with multiple agencies. So they're gonna be inspecting like, all different types of things, license plates and all these other things. So yes, there's a big operation going on. So that's the reason why there's back-to-back traffic. So we apologize for any inconvenience. I'm not sure what time it's gonna be over. They didn't say a time frame. So just want to give everybody an update.
Thank you.
No problem.
I appreciate that, because I didn't know what was happening. Thank
No
you.
worries.
Okay, so now,
Hello, everybody.
Say your name out loud, say your name,
Rafael Escano,
and you are
from DOT.
with, which is
Borough planner.
Department of Transportation for any new people.
Correct, I, just needed to come here today.
In person, I really appreciate
I
you
think we
coming in
should, I
person.
think we should ask other rep to at least come, you know, twice or 3 times a year, you know? What do you think?
Well, before you came on behalf of DOT, we didn't have anybody, so.
Right, exactly.
I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, no, you know, I like to come and see you personally and say hello, and also tell you all the things that I'm doing on behalf of this district. And that, you know, gives me the opportunity also, since I don't live in this district, to come and see things that have been brought up to my attention. We have a couple of projects going on, and that's this first, the 96th Street bus route, that is part of 96th Street, is gonna be repainted, and some of that bus lane will be, redone. So that is happening as we speak right now. It will be, yes, the entire corridor.
Yeah.
On,
At 4 o'clock in the
when
morning.
they started in the east side first, and then they're going to move towards the west side. So, this is what's happening now on that particular project. It's going to be done, in a few weeks. There will be also some, traffic difficulties because they're going to be dealing with the timing on the, traffic signals. So there might be some kind of inconvenience to, drivers during the time. Also, there will be relocation of vehicles. So you might get some calls from drivers saying, hey, where's my vehicle? Because what they're doing, they have to remove some of the car in order to paint the lane, particularly the bus lane. Okay, that's one. The second, area that I visited, was reported to me by, Ayala staff, Margaret. And that was 117th Street and Lexington. Right, 117th Street and Lexington, yes. That apparently there were, some contractors doing some work. And, you know, the milling machine apparently broke some area where there was a cave in. So, that was taken care of as soon as I got the call from Margaret and from Mackie. And it has not yet been finished, and that's the reason why I wanted to come, because the contractor was fine for leaving that the way they did. And they were given 72 hours by our unit to repair it completely, and that has not been done. So I took picture, and tomorrow I'm gonna bring it up to the pertinent unit. So that was the second area that I visited. Is Jose listening? Jose,
He's listening.
You should be.
he's listening, okay. Because I also visited. the
I'm
famous-
listening.
I also visited the famous.
I'm waiting to the part where it gets impressive.
I also visited at, the pedestrian lane on 117th Street, the Riverside, River Plaza. And, when I got there around maybe, 5 o'clock, 5:10, 5:20, something like that, there was no car. And it looks nice. I mean, all those, bars that are dividing the lanes, they look they're in very good condition. So, but then when I was waiting for the bus, 116 cross bus, there was somebody backing up into it from Pleasant Avenue. So that really, kind of concerned me, because instead of they going through the bars, they are going backward from Pleasant. I don't know, it was, and then they parked in the middle of the block. So if that is done regularly, that's the problem. So what the update is the following, and there will be concrete planters installed in that area in order to prevent the people from parking the pedestrian lane. We don't know yet because it's on the bed and they have not chosen a vendor yet. But hopefully, by the end of the year, this process will be finalized and hopefully again, early 2022, 2025, we'll probably have everything done. So I'm very hopeful that this is going to be finished because it's been kind of
Wow.
dragging since 2021, prior to me coming. So, that was what else did I visit? I also wanted to ask Ali about the report to the,
Oh, that's Pascal's, what's
Pascal?
regarding the,
yes. Has that been removed?
No, it's still there as of today.
Because that was also given salmon by our unit. And they have to remove it within 72 hours. So when this happened, like someone reached out to me and, this is what happened in Rafael. I reported it to the pertinent unit right away. And they very fast, they really send inspector right away. And they inspect all over the place, they're not just in the office. They just have to call one of the inspectors and go to this location, they go there and they do the right thing. And, when something like that happens, call me, just send me an email, whatever.
you said it's Con Edison, right?
The Con Edison, yes,
So we have,
they're not Con Edison personnel.
Oh.
They're Con Edison, the contract.
Contractor, okay, so we might be able, we still might be able to, loop Barbette and ask if maybe she can help us get in contact with those contractors and, have them-
Well, yeah, you could do that, but we are the one that provide the permit.
Mhm.
And they have to go by the permits indication, so, we like to know. Because if they don't do it, after the inspector go there and do the recording and summons, and because what they do, they contact the contractor and then they find them. So that's another thing that I would follow up on that.
I have a question
And
about,
that's it.
Wait, Don, please.
I'm done for because when I come around here, I also, like I said, take the time to go around and familiarize myself with the things that are being in my plate.
Okay, but thank you. I appreciate you coming in person and you giving us partially a positive report on cement. That we really wanted something that was stronger than a little in the place that needed it. And hopefully it is not too long in its coming, because 2025 is coming quite quickly. And so hopefully it happens. When it happens, let's have a party,
No,
Hasn't happened yet,
I said, when, that's why the big when.
but I look forward to it.
I look forward to it too.
Oh, absolutely, and that was my first project, so I have to make sure it is done correctly the way it was originally planned.
Beautiful. I do have the very first thing that you brought up, which is why I'm a little bit sleep deprived. The 4 o'clock in the morning trucks scraping the road on 96th Street. And then going back and then scraping it again very slowly. And I'm not gonna call you at 4 in the morning.
96?
Yes,
Nailing the road?
yes, when no, they're not mailing, it's just like they're stripping it to put
Oh, right, okay.
so I'm sleep deprived. And this is more than once that they do it, and it's very slow, so it stays in front of your building for a period of time.
You know what they do? They marking.
No, this is a lot louder than marking. This is,
Right, but that's what made the noise.
so basically, like that, but the accidents the near accidents that have been happening with this new pattern
Really?
have, I mean, I've seen it so many times. So I'm just hoping that what I think is gonna happen does not happen. Because I've seen too many things happen near misses
96,
on 96.
from what point?
Lexington, the bus
Oh,
turning,
Lexington, okay.
people, and it's usually with pedestrians,
Mhm.
not with the vehicles. And the pedestrians is what the whole point of this whole change was for. And it's the
Right.
pedestrians that are more at risk with all these changes. The bus turning from Lexington onto 96th Street has a sharper angle with how it's been divided. I don't understand how it happened, but it's just so sharp that they're having problems.
Educate me,
This,
so the bus coming, going south. Right? Turn on 96,
the bus going down on
Lexington.
Lexington is going south,
right,
and it's turning on to 96th
turn
Street.
left,
It's turning
To the right.
to the left.
To the left, right.
Turning to the left. One of them
Oh,
turns
really?
left. So they go in different directions.
right.
I mean, it's a two-way
Mhm.
street, so I don't always see them turning to the right. In the morning, I see them turning to the left. And that's when I've seen most of the dangerous
Mhm.
people walking and almost getting hit. There's a lot of other things that are happening, but I just wanted to,
Mhm.
and I haven't taken pictures because most of the times when that happens, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I don't have the wherewithal to take a picture of the scene.
Okay.
So please, that needs to be looked at. I am game to like say, okay, let's see what happens. But it could change back hopefully to how it was if it is not working out. FYI, Don, go ahead.
I just I heard something and I don't have any, proof, but if you take an Accessoride to the mall, how close can you get to Costco? Cause I know that on one side, that's where Accessoride was stopping, that was like a little farther back. So if you take an Accessoride to the mall, can you go all the way to where Costco is, or you have to get dropped off across from where Applebee's was?
I seen accessorized vehicles. The time that I have visited that area in the past,
Mm-hmm.
parked right by the lane, the pedestrian lane.
Right, but not close to the Costco or anything.
Not close to, for some reason, they choose to go in the pedestrian lane and unload their passengers.
I can help answer that question. The Costco floor is only through paid parking.
Right, so I'm just asking on
So
behalf of
Accessoride,
seniors.
I don't think even through the height allows it to enter the parking lot.
Oh, okay,
Could be
I'm
the
asking on behalf of seniors who now take Accessoride to 86th Street. Instead of going to the mall, and then, we don't have a Target, but I just.
I think most seniors don't go there anymore because they have significant issues with the Instacart people being very aggressive.
Well, I can't say, I can't speak on behalf, but this district is mostly seniors, and I know that. I hope that with all the concrete and the barriers, I brought this up like 2 years ago, that. Accessoride can still drop people off a reasonable distance from the mall if they need to go to Costco.
Yeah, but that was not included in the planning of this pedestrian lane. This is the pedestrian only lane. No parking of any other vehicles. And I mean,
So if
Jose
you're
can,
disabled, where do you go?
Jose can tell you,
There is a pickup and drop off zone right there in the breezeway. The breezeway is what connects 116 to 117. So there is a large space for pickup and drop offs. Also, Accessorize are also allowed to go into the loading dock at times and they drop off there. They circle around and they leave. I've seen that as well. But most of the time, what they do is that they go to the pickup and drop off times. We may need some help. I was planning on reaching out to Detective Powers in that because there is some issues with vehicles just parking on 117th and then not allowing traffic to flow. There's even a small, looks like a school bus, like one of those little school buses that apparently sells weed there at the end of 117th, but if those vehicles were in movement, or actually they shouldn't be there because there should be no parking there during those hours, then it would be easier for Access-a-Ride to use the drop-off zone, but there is a designated drop-off.
Thank you. Did you have a
He's
question?
an expert on that.
Well, I know, I will bring that up at another meeting, because I haven't seen that to be the case. That's cool.
Okay.
Or we can create, of course, an email correspondence and have this a regular conversation. I would suggest. doing
That sounds even better.
As opposed to doing this on a monthly basis. I really do stress that, you know, Raphael provides his contact information.
Right.
As you see these things, please document it and CC us as well. And this, the office, so we can try to adjust it on a more daily basis as opposed to once a month.
That
And he
sounds good.
he makes himself available and you can send the pictures and text him and in real time, because I
Well,
have
the
done
people
so, but not at 4 a.m.
Yeah, no, the people who live here don't always get to the meetings and.
No, but I'm saying that you yourself
Yeah.
can do so.
Yeah. I'm just putting it on the record that I
Mhm.
put it on the record a few years ago. I was concerned about disabled people not being able to get close to the mall, but I'm being told that it's not a problem. So I will tell those people that there is no problem.
No, John.
Well, I'm just putting it out there. We can discuss it at another time. Don't worry, my time's almost up.
I can only listen now.
Okay, so,
Human services.
so I have a problem.
Wait, before you go. Kyoko, I see your hand. I'll get to you soon. Go ahead.
There is a bus stop on 98th Street and Lexington, I'm sorry, I have to visualize this. 98th and Lexington. The bus depot is on 99th to 100th Street on Lexington. In between those two, there is an active driveway. And the buses consistently park in that driveway where we have lots of seniors who have to wait for the bus to be moved, and a lot of times they park it there and leave, right? I've spoken to the persons at the depot. They assured me this would not happen, but this is an ongoing thing. Consistently, I've even asked bus drivers when they park to please move the bus. I've had to argue with people. So my question to you is, can we move that bus stop?
That's an issue that has to be dealt
With MTA,
by the MTA.
he's Department of Transportation, it doesn't fall under his purview.
Right.
We can forward that to the MTA if you like. So you can email me tomorrow, and then we don't have an MTA liaison with us tonight, unfortunately, but we do have a liaison. And you can forward that over to me, and then we can request
Right.
that.
Send me pictures too.
Yes, thank you.
Always.
Thank you. Done a lot, so.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you.
I can hear you.
I said, can I bring up my concern, or that's later?
Sure. We'll wait till Michelle acknowledges you.
Oh, sure.
Hold on a second. I had just said Kyoko would be the next person. Unless there's any other CB11 members online that have questions? Okay, Kyoko, you have the floor.
Yes, really quickly. I remember back, I don't know if it's before you guys' time, but there was supposed to be I don't know what to call it, but a DOT was supposed to be going around to see the dark areas, because I know they were in charge of lighting in the community. One of the key streets that was on that list was 117th Street between Park and Madison. To this day, we still have a very dark street, and we just recently had a horrible accident where the gentleman broke his leg in 3 places because it's not well lit there. So DOT did come to view the lighting. They did put a light there, but it's under the trees cover that lighting area. So I think one of the key problems that I hear when I'm talking about public safety in our community is well-lit areas. And so I'm wondering if that is going to be an agenda item again for DOT, because it seems that we're still dealing with this 10 years later.
Is it possible that you could send that to me, an email, so I can look into it with the unit that deals with the lighting, public lighting on the street?
Absolutely.
Kali has my,
I have his contact. And also, Kyoki, you said that a tree is the tree is blocking the lighting as well?
It
So-
is. It's too high up for it to actually touch ground. So it's right near the garden on 117th Street, closest to Madison. Like, we literally cannot see the ground when we're walking at night at all.
Okay. So, and that's, we can also loop in parks since they handle tree maintenance as well. So, okay. East 117th and Madison?
Between Park and Madison, yes.
Between Park and Madison. Okay, oh, the entire segment. Okay, thank you.
217?
Yes. Literally around the corner from the office.
Just so the board know, the committee knows, so, sorry, Madam Chair. That area, Rafael, has been flagged before by us. Park and Madison, 117th and 117th Park and Lexington has also been flagged. DOT told us that they would be, because what happens is there's very large trees, and just like Yoga says, the trees block the light. They've grown into the light. We were promised that DOT would be incorporating lights similar to what they put on Marcus Garvey Jr. Park, where on the same light posts, they bring them down underneath the tree and they install it on the same pole, some nice new LED lights, but we have not seen that installation done, so we could, that would be what you would need to follow up on.
Thank you, Jose.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Pilar?
Hi.
Oh, wait, before, did you want to respond to that?
No, it's just, it's an expert, that's all. Thank you.
Alrighty then, Pilar.
But, I'm sorry, I don't want to say, but reach out to me, I know you're not.
I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow, I promise.
Okay.
Alrighty then. I know you miss him.
So good evening, everybody. My name is Pilar Wilkins. I am the assistant principal at Renaissance School of the Arts, which is located at 319 East 117th Street between First and Second Avenue. We are one of many schools in District 4 that are under construction for more accessibility. So we have ongoing construction for at least the next 4 years. But what that has done for us is taken away parking. So there's 2 schools in that building, that's the PS 155 building. We're lucky enough to have a parking lot. It's a small parking lot, but 2 spots were taken out of the lot. And our street parking, which is located on 118th Street between First and Second, several spots have been taken because of construction. So I wanted to know how we could go about obtaining more parking spaces for the educators in that building. Another option, because I did reach out to DOE online, another option that has been done at another school, but I'm not sure if it's in this district. We do have busing, like a bus space in front of the building, you know, for the school buses to drop off the kids and whatever have you. Maybe extending that area for teacher parking. We just need more parking. It's really hard. People have to either come really early or not giving teachers excuses, but sometimes they're late because they're driving around to park. And, you know, we live in Manhattan where we work or maybe live in Manhattan, and there's schools that are right near each other. Right here in District 4, we have a cluster of about 6 schools right around each other. So it's not like we can go to the next school and go park over there. 1, because our plaques are specified to the school that we're at, and 2, because other people have to park as well. So we just need help. What can we do?
So this is the school that is within the district.
Correct.
District 4.
Correct.
Really. Has the principal reach out to DOT?
I'm the assistant principal, so I reached out to DOT online.
Okay, I think that the principal is the key person to do this kind of process with
Well,
DOT.
So time out. I am also the building response team leader, so all of the safety issues and concerns come to me for both buildings.
And you requested a space already through DOT?
I did,
And what was the response?
nothing yet. I'm just asking, cause I just did that recently.
Mm.
So, I mean, I might need a few days to get a response, but one, maybe there was somebody else I could have spoke to beforehand. Or because I already have a confirmation number, there's something that there could be a conversation that's had. I just wanna know, am I going in the right direction? Is there somebody else that I need to talk to? Do I need to do a walkthrough with, someone? That's all, but the principal, he's gonna put it back towards me because I'm the building response team leader.
Right.
He's gonna give you his card.
So send me the. With
Everything.
whatever you
Mhm,
have sent out, so I can follow it up.
absolutely.
Okay, I think it has happened in the past that the principal has reached out to DOT and that they can take the necessary measure and they go to inspect and they see if it is necessary things that should be done. So, if you have my card,
Mhm.
send me the information. And I will
Just to
follow
make
it up.
you ecstatic, I'm gonna CC both principals on there,
Right,
but you'll be done with.
no, probably. It's just that it's the process, and the reason why I mention this is because I have seen that in the past. I'm not as an expert as some other are in DOT, so I'm in the process of learning.
Mhm.
But, usually the principal is the one that takes the lead in this kind of process. It's not that it's not considering you, you know, unimportant, just that is the process. And sometimes they require the superintendent of the district.
Yes, and my superintendent knows that I'm at this meeting right now
Right,
too.
right.
I'll CC her.
I understand, I'm just voicing that, so you be prepared to kind of, be successful. In these spaces.
Oh, you don't know me.
Well, I think that this will work out and you will want follow-up on this, most definitely.
I
Yeah,
invite you to come to our public school safety meeting tomorrow. I'll email you the link so you can jump on if you're available.
Since I'm not in the safety.
I understand, but
realm,
I'll just,
it's
just an invite, it's just an invite. You can always say, you can always decline when you receive it.
Okay.
okay, thank you. Dawn?
So I'm always bringing maybe bad news, but I do have what I think is good news over the last, I'll say like 5 to 7 years, which is that cluster of schools, when kids were getting out and they were kind of getting into trouble, like near the Chinese food restaurant, the teachers and I guess probably folks like you were coming out and making sure the kids were not, like they were eating and moving around. And I think that was really good. So whatever safety system you have set up where the kids get out, they hang out, they eat, and then they move along and all that stuff. I think you have a really good system.
Thank you. The system is being a part of your community.
Yeah.
And as a assistant principal or principal, a superintendent deputy, you're an educational leader.
Mhm.
So that means, you're an educational leader, you're a community leader, so we have to be part of the community. So I sit on the 25th Precinct Community Council. This is not my first Community Board 11 meeting. I talk with the people outside. I talk to Jose at the bodega. I talk to Raul at the bike shop. They know me, they know the uniforms. I make sure they know who we are. So if something happens to my children, then they know who to contact. So it's just being a part of the community.
That's being a good neighbor. That's good public safety.
That is. And on that note, let us continue. Thank you.
I have to just make a note here. I used to work as a substitute teacher for a while, so I'm experienced in play. So I just wanted to encourage you to send me this thing tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
She's gonna continue tonight. We're doing this one more.
I know what she's.
Nice to see the office as well. You said that it's ongoing construction for the school, right?
Yes,
And so the contractors probably filled out permits to occupy the roadway?
Yes.
Yes, and so if they fill out those permits and they're active and for a certain like date and timeline, Pascal knows that when it's an inactive one, we'll reach out to Raphael and ask for enforcement. But if it's an active permit for active construction, I'd be happy to be a part of that conversation and try to see how we can help, because, usually there aren't, concessions. Like parking for in front of his office, is taken away because of Park Avenue Viaduct,
Right,
and I drive to work, and that's on me. I have to figure it out. There's been no, hey, you're a city agency individual, here's a parking spot for you to, I have to figure it out. But I'd be happy to try to at least be on the conversation and try to help if possible.
thank you.
That's very good, very good, thanks.
So I'm glad the connection has been made and will be fruitful. Thank you for your time, and thank you for coming. I know you're running off now. I appreciate- Okay, well, stick around then. Okay, so now let us continue. Do we have anyone from the district attorney's office? Alrighty then, let us continue with public safety transportation advocacy group. Do we have any?
It seemed like it.
All right,
You can move forward.
moving forward. Let us go to our goals for 2024-2025. Our goals were on,
Good night,
in our
everybody.
minute,
Thank you.
and thank you.
Good night.
Does everyone have the goals in front of them? Okay, well, the goals aren't on the agenda, the goals were in the minute from last month. I will read the goals that we've had. Annual Public Safety Awareness Conference. First and foremost, I'll just read them as we have them. Collaborate with other board experiencing shared transportation issues. And I would like to amend that to shared public safety and transportation issues. Anybody disagree or agree with that? Okay, I'm hearing moths. Focus on impacted Second Avenue subway funding, which we already have a subcommittee for the Second Avenue. So I do not see the purpose of having a redundant part in public safety and transportation. Would anyone disagree in removing that as a goal for 2024-2025?
Can you read that to me one more time?
Focus on impacted Second Avenue subway funding.
Was it mentioned during the full board meeting that the funding wasn't impacted or?
I spoke with the Second Avenue subway individuals, and they're like, we did not have all the funding to begin with, but we're still working on the funding and it's coming. So they themselves don't see a problem with it. So it is redundant for us to work on something that they themselves don't see that there's a problem. Okay,
So we're moving that.
so we're gonna remove that.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the nods.
Yes.
This is an open conversation, y'all. Identify expired permits via NYC permits and push for enforcement. I know Pascal is the one who wants that, and I think that is quite pertinent. Are we in agreement with that? Looking at non,
Yes.
okay. Residential parking permit program. I think we need to just nuance that a little bit, but I personally want to make sure that we get residential permit parking at a rate that is similar to the ones that I've looked at, which is $20 a year.
Wow.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing it? I'm sorry, $20 a year? Where?
There was just so many different cities that had that. The only one that had it, that was, I thought, exorbitant was Philadelphia, which went up to 100, from 120 to 160 for the year. So we want residential parking permits that are accessible to our community, to everyone, and I thought that $20 a year is accessible to everyone. And even if it's 30 or 40, for the year, it's accessible. Not gonna go continue because we're working on it, this is just a goal. But I have been calling different people about this.
I know, I just, so something ran through my mind today, right? Thinking about the parking permits for the neighborhood, right? And kind of thought like playing devil's advocate a little bit, if this might not bite us in the ass, so to speak. Because, right, as a driver, I have a permit to park in my neighborhood, right? I go shopping, and I wanna park up by 125th Street. Will I not now be allowed to park there because I don't have a permit?
No, this is just the residential parking permit that you have, you can park in any space and it's yours.
Right,
However,
I
other
get
people can park,
Right.
but they do not have a preference over you to park in that space. So if they have a license plate from another state, usually down south, that are usually illegal, it will prevent that type of crime from happening. So people would, and what could happen is that could reduce our insurance. That we are paying more insurance because people are going out of state to get their little paper plate license. And so it's gonna be like a circle of all the different things that can happen if everyone is on board.
Okay, but
I'm sorry, this is a conversation to discuss and finalize the goals. The specific I would suggest having a more in-depth conversation for another meeting to do this. But this is a conversation to solidify realistic goals that you guys can accomplish within this year. I would ask that you keep the conversation strictly to.
my apologies. It
Yeah,
was
we're
just in my
still in
head.
the
It
15
was-
minutes.
Yeah, it was in my head, so,
Okay, but y'all wanna have this?
yes.
Okay,
And then just hash out an actual, I would say at least maybe try to spend the rest of this year coming up with like specific concepts and points that would address that in a document and then present that to the council. That's what I would suggest, like as in like an actually reasonable, item to get done maybe by Christmas, if you guys are interested in solidifying something like that.
Thank you.
But it's all, you have the entire year to come up with your best package and or letter or resolution or anything like that. So that's a suggestion.
the efficacy of a bus camera program.
Someone mouthed this off, a bus camera program during the recording, but don't know who said it, and it was just a point, so I don't know if anyone here can speak to that, if not.
I really don't have yay or nay about this, so. Anybody here? Can we remove it then?
We're removing it, perfect. The next one, collaborating with Economic Development Committee regarding the dining out program that they're going to be initiating. Sorry, Economic Development Committee and technically licenses and permits for this board reviews dining out program applications, but there was a suggestion to collaborate with EDC for businesses that want to apply for these dining out programs and identifying and determining what are suitable locations, because anything that happens on the street furniture is a Department of Transportation related measure, so. There was a goal, someone had said collaborate with the EDC committee here regarding that program for this year.
I see we're kind of wavering, yes, no?
I say yes.
I say yes, because it's happening in the street.
As a clarification, are we talking still about the dining sheds?
Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about the dining shed.
I
Yeah,
thought they've
Definitely.
canceled that program.
It's now like you have to apply. for
You have
it.
to apply for a permit, it has to have certain standards.
Okay.
yes.
So,
They can't be like permanent structures, they have to be structures that are easily dismantleable. they have to meet certain requirements to space and so forth like that.
Cause in Midtown, they all came down. There's nothing left. So I.
But- Yes, go ahead.
Just for clarification, wasn't there something in place where these structures, if they weren't being used, they had to dismantle them? Did I hear something like that?
It was, there was a whole lot of rules and regulations that happened with them, and we just want to be part of the conversation. And so that's why this is here.
Okay.
And Ms. Brown, there are like fact sheets and so forth. I can try to get those and then forward to you, so you can have for your reference. There's like,
Thank you.
it'll give you a penalty schedule and all of that, like, you know, first fine for first offense and et cetera, so
I
forth.
appreciate that.
And I know where you're going with that, so. Go ahead, but don't, not right now, not right now.
No, nope, not at all.
Okay, so therefore, what we have is the annual Public Safety Awareness Conference. Yes, all or no all?
Yes.
Really? Hesitation there?
Yeah, no.
Okay, collaborate with other boards experience shared public safety and transportation issues. I made it a little amendment to that, adding public safety.
Agree.
Yes.
Okay. Identify expired permits via the New York City street permits push for enforcement.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Residential parking permits program, we will nuance that, but we just want to make sure that we're in the conversation
Yes.
to make it happen.
Yes.
Okay, and then to collaborating with Economic Development Committee and Dining Out Program.
Yes.
Okay, did we have any other topics that we wanted to bring up? This is a lot on our plate right now.
I think that's enough.
Okay, and I do want to add one, that we need to write the letters. We can't just say we're gonna write something and nothing happens. Discuss it and don't go forward with it. We need to follow through. I don't know how you wanna put that there, on how that would go down, but we just need to follow.
I mean,
through.
you don't have, it could just be a matter of procedure. I make all the letters and resolutions that we write out, I make them available in the board drive. You all have access to it. You can all edit the document. I see fit, and then when, you know, we have our meetings, you say, hey, this is the document that we all have. You can polish it up and then finalize it. So I always make that available for everybody. So you could just make it a matter of practice, really.
Okay. I know everyone has a huge time schedule and a lot of commitments. I do too. But let us try, and I think that is it.
You have to make a motion to, yeah, accept this.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, I didn't like, I'm moving on, like.
Yeah, let's move along. We're done.
Gonna get me in
Okay.
trouble.
Does anyone here want to make a motion on our goal for 2024-2025?
I make a motion to accept the goals for 2024, 2025, as were read by you twice.
Thank you.
Seconded by.
Who wants it?
I second it.
Second.
Okay.
Allow Sage, okay.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go forward with our committee discussion on district needs and requests for the fiscal year of 2026. Let us review the status of our 2025 budget request.
Okay. I'm gonna bullet through these really quick because no, we're question time. And we still have a lot of whole business items that we need to approve as well, so. And unless anybody we have a good amount of revisions. And unless anybody has any concrete revision right now that we can place in here that is different from here. We're just gonna opt to keep it and have the language as is, and you establish your priority for the budget request, and we keep it moving. So you have here for the first option, ADA compliance of the 25th precinct. Last month, you suggested that we remove it because the ADA, we were notified that ADA compliant projects were included for the 25th precinct. For this option here, allocate 20 million to accelerate phase one of multi-stage redevelopment restoration of Pier 107, Bobby Wagner Walk. Further study by the agency of this request is needed. We had at least the staff recommend that you revise this, but the committee didn't have a decision that last month, so are you opting to keep or remove this language as is?
We're opting to keep it.
All right, so we'll keep it and then we'll move forward. Perfect. This next item here, moving on into expense, provide funding for an expansion of the mayor's action plan for neighborhood safety to cover all of Niger developments in East Harlem. The committee opted to revise. Do we have any revisions to this language at all right now? Okay, so then we're keeping it or removing it?
We are need to keeping it,
Okay, perfect.
and that would be high.
Awesome. All right, this one here, provide funding. Oh, and we'll go through the ranking. Yes.
Oh,
We'll go through that after we, you know what, we can go through it right now, since we'll just make it all in one.
I mean, I think we should just make it all one.
You wanna make everything high?
No, I'm saying that we should say high or low at the same
At the same
time.
time, all right, so the multi-state, the ferry service at 106 or Pier 107, is that high priority, medium priority, low priority?
Medium.
Medium, okay. All right, and mayor's action plan was high,
Yeah.
got it. Next item, provide funding to study the feasibility of establishing a residential parking permit program in East Harlem. And so you guys did opt to revise this, but unless you have any revision for this language, keep
Keep and high.
it high, got it.
Y'all can chime in. I'm not trying to go over y'all here. This is a committee.
Okay, and of course, anybody online too, I didn't even remember online. Next item, utilizing existing resources, NYPD must prioritize youth crime prevention programs as a strategy to mitigate crime in East Harlem. The committee opted to maybe revise this language. Do we have any revisions to this language at all, or we're just gonna keep?
And to keep and incorporate collaborative services,
Okay,
collaborative policing services within it.
okay, wait, okay, so where am I putting that?
Could you make it just a little bit bigger? I'm really going on the memory of what you're saying.
No worries, and I'll reread it. Utilizing existing resources, NYPD must prioritize youth crime prevention programs as a strategy to mitigate crime in East Harlem.
Including collaborative policing services. Including collaborative policing programs.
Where would you want that?
Right where you
Right
start,
after East Harlem?
yes,
Okay, so say that again, including,
collaborative.
Huh?
Policing program. Yes. Wait, I just wanna, can you see,
oh, sorry, I'll read that out, yes.
because sometimes when you read it in your head, it sounds a little bit different if somebody else reads it.
Sure. Utilizing the existing resources, NYPD must prioritize youth crime prevention programs as a strategy to mitigate crime in East Harlem, including collaborative policing programs. Sounds like a double.
It sounds double, but there's a nuance of difference in it.
Okay, so do you want to say must prioritize collaborative youth crime prevention programs or youth crime policing?
Maybe that might be a little bit,
It'll simplify it to do.
it simplifies it, but they're two different things.
Can you explain what that means? Because that is very confusing for the people who don't know.
Well, the preventing. Wait, where did it?
You ask that question.
No, I'm just looking to see where that
Oh, sorry.
sentence is.
Utilizing existing resources, NYPD must prioritize youth crime prevention programs as a strategy to mitigate crime in East Harlem, including collaborative policing programs.
The preventative programs are like different after-school programs. And the collaborating programs are the ones that the police department are collaborating with other agencies at the same time as a unit with the police. So
And what programs are you speaking of? Like I think that has to be clarified. So you can't, like that language really does not define what you're speaking of and what programs you're talking about.
Specifically thinking about Saturday Night Lights, which is a basketball program with the NYPD.
And that's
Um,
funded through the DA's office, not the NYPD.
But there is another program that,
I was just thinking of that one program.
yeah, but Yoko, I'm gonna check, but it did seem like there was another program coming through the PAL. I don't know if that's not our district, but Police Athletic League supposedly had a program.
So
Would we
yes,
want something like
and the
that?
reason why I'm chiming in is because that language, like you're presenting something, and I think that to be fair, the language has to match so that the community understands what you're speaking of as well. And so we're not speaking about specific programs that you're talking about because NYPD doesn't fund programs. So let's just make sure that's very clear. They don't have any funding for a program. So what resources are you speaking of?
So, aren't we gonna do that at a separate meeting? We're just gonna keep
Well,
this,
so ideally with this budget request task that we do on an annual basis, it is to speak to individuals like Kyoka and our stakeholders to advise us for a more specific and direct budget requests. So technically, we shouldn't be doing this tonight. This should be an ongoing conversation over months and through our
Yeah.
district budget consultations, which unfortunately also didn't happen this year as well. for reasons. So you can,
So do we need to,
the Kyoka can assist us right now in helping us make this much more specific and robust. The staff did recommend to try to be more specific and direct, like advocating for a particular program and identifying that directly, so it can be more specific. The committee can opt to make a decision right now. You can remove this for this year and come back next year with something more concrete and robust. Or you can try to take the time to revise this to make it a lot more specific, but.
I think we should do that, but I don't think we should do that right now.
and don't we have time to do that?
I mean.
Because we're here, but,
It's 8 o'clock right now.
yeah.
No, I'm just saying that we don't need to,
You need to finalize these budget requests tonight, so.
okay, so then we'll just have it, Kyoka, do you want to make a recommendation?
I don't know how we're doing this.
I'll defer to you guys, but I would love to be help specify the language because I think you present this and then the questions are gonna come of who are you speaking of? Because we don't have, NYPD doesn't fund any program. So with the resources, what funding are you speaking of and what resources are you speaking of?
Sorry, Kyoka, these budget requests are directed to Department of City Planning and OMB. These aren't directed directly to NYPD. So what we get here are responses. Like you'll see here for this example, OMB supports the agency's position as follows. The agency will try to accommodate this issue within existing resources. That's the typical response we would get from OMB with this request that I've seen for the past 2 years. Excuse me.
So this is requesting funds from New York City,
Yes, from
not funds from the
from
NYPD.
right.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying where's that money going to do what you're asking it to be done? So what you look at the language that you put, I understand what's happening. I write city policy, I get it, right? You're requesting resources for collaboration for NYPD sponsored programs, but there's none. That's what I'm saying. So what do you, you have to identify those programs that you're speaking of. That's what I'm saying. What are those programs? What are you speaking of?
Is that something we can come together and discuss?
Specifically PAL, if you're talking about PAL, we don't have a PAL in East Harlem. So are we speaking of Community Board 11, programs within this community? We don't have any that's sponsored by. I just want to make sure it's clear so the money goes to the right places.
Yeah.
I wasn't here last month, Kyoka.
Programs that
Sorry
are
to speak on
available,
the phone,
that
Madam
do
Chair.
have the T3. And I don't think that this is really necessary to put the different names of the programs at this particular point.
I thought we had put this for the MAP program, but again, I don't,
And-
yeah, you have
And
to
that
vote
would
on
make
it
sense.
tonight.
Map would make sense, but like,
I think this was particularly for the MAP program, but it will seem very broad in the beginning. And again, this has to be done tonight, unfortunately, so if there's significantly more to do. I think we can probably hash it out throughout the year, as Khalid said, but I believe this was in for the MAP program in particular, Kyoka.
Okay, so tell you what, just for the sake of saving our time, we'll opt to not include this for this year's budget request.
That
'Cause
makes no sense.
We'll just get the same.
No, I don't think that,
Based
I don't think we should do that based on what's happening right now. I think we could put it with the MAP program and not have it just disappear.
So, okay, so we need finalized language right now.
So
What would you like to say?
yesterday's meeting was canceled. Do we have a new date for the next district meetings?
That's coming up on Monday. Yes.
So it seems like we have a little bit of time, but
No, we're finalizing all of these.
well, then I'm saying keep it.
Okay.
And I don't think that we should have to explain why we keeping something we've had on here for years. If we wanna have a separate committee to talk about the programs, then I think we could do that because I love what we're doing in East Harlem, but I'm also looking at what's happening, and this is one of our goals. What are people doing in Flatbush? What are people doing in Gowanus? What are people doing in places that are really, really dangerous? And they brought them into, under control. I know
So-
there's no PAL here, but that doesn't mean we
We
straight
can't
something.
have it. Okay, but what I wanna say is that we should keep it.
Okay.
And we can vote on nuancing it between now and Monday.
This has to be finalized language, can't be like.
So then can it be left as it is?
We have right now the rule revision for including collaborative policing programs as a strategy to mitigate crime in East Harlem.
I'm looking to
Yes,
accept
but
that.
wait, Pascal?
I was just saying, just remove that sentence, include the MAP program, and you could make some language about incorporating other programs citywide into it, and that probably would. I don't know, does that make sense?
If you guys want to do that, we can do that. It just has to be finalized language. That's all.
Hold on. Did you have a specific way to change it?
No, I didn't, but I was thinking that that piece that you added in there might be what the problem is. Why they can't pull it together, the collaborative part, because it's talking about other programs that we don't have.
I just need this. Okay, fine. Pascal, did you have a
So
way
if
of,
we, I'm sorry,
wait, no, I don't wanna take it away.
no, I was just gonna ask, if we take that piece out, would that make the language better?
And they take out a piece that,
Yeah,
So
that extra piece you put in.
then it's gonna be a keep, because that's not a revision. We're keeping it as the language as is that. If you guys want to do that, we can do that.
Because it seems that once that piece was added, it's now confusing.
So you can opt to keep it revised as is, and I would suggest, having the regular conversations with Kyoko over the year about, what the local precincts need and what makes sense as an actual feasible direct request. That's what I would suggest doing.
I'd like to hear what
That's
you
what
was,
I'm-
what you, the way you worded it, what was the language that you used?
Yeah, so just hearing what Phil said right now, that works too, but what I was saying was just removing, including collaborative policing programs.
Remove this part.
Yeah, that sentence, and you could probably put NYPD must prioritize youth crime prevention programs such as, or like including MAP, as well as incorporate other citywide youth prevention programs into our neighborhood. You, like word it like that, where it's like, it's vague, but it's specific to things that already exist citywide. So we're not calling out other programs exactly by name, but we're mentioning things that exist in a way. I mean, that's just me just rambling.
Sounds good.
Yes,
Yeah,
That's
it's
why I
because
like
that,
it.
yeah, that does cover the collaborative policing
Right.
programs.
Okay, so we have here, I don't believe Mr. Director prioritize. So,
You had said MAP and other citywide programs,
Yeah, other citywide youth prevention.
because right now
programs.
MAP is only 3, isn't MAP just 3 developments out of 25?
I'm not familiar with math.
So MAP is right now 3 out of 25, that's not good enough, that's why I like what you said when you said MAP and other citywide.
Citywide.
other citywide prevention programs.
We've been waiting quite a long time for MAP to be expanded and it hasn't.
So
So
let's just go over this right now, utilizing existing resources, NYPD must prioritize youth crime
I
prevention.
would also remove utilizing existing resources. I think that defeats the purpose of asking for
Yeah,
additional.
can we just like, yeah. I like that, I was literally about to say that too, so you're on the same page. NYPD must prioritize youth crime prevention.
And then I would, just to make it clear and like surefire, after you say map and other existing citywide prevention programs, just, we're not reinventing the wheel, we're just asking to incorporate things that already exist in our neighborhood.
That defines the collaboration part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's vague, but it makes sense and it speaks to something. Now, whatever they wanna do and figure out what programs we can allocate that money to, that's later on.
All right, Council, further funding is needed for NYPD to prioritize youth crime prevention programs, including MAP and other existing citywide prevention programs as a strategy to mitigate crime in East Harlem.
Yes.
Okay, the city should not only bolster support for NYPD youth programs, but also allocate resources to community partners to engage at-risk youth.
Yes,
Yes?
Yes.
And priority?
yeah, next,
I was gonna say, Keoka, she wants to put any input?
no,
Oh.
no, we're good,
Priorities?
hi.
That language is good to me.
So say it again, please, I'm sorry.
She said that language is good to me.
Okay, thank you, Keoka. Moving forward. Provide funding for a formal investigation into construction feasibility, for a pier at/near East 116th Street for the purpose of expanding transportation methods to the public in anticipation of the CDT tolling program. The committee didn't really opt
Is
to.
this ferry service? Is this the ferry service we spoke about?
I don't believe so. I think ferry service is this one here,
Okay.
up here, the capital request.
So that's, is that redundant? Cause I don't know what that is.
It might be redundant. The committee didn't make a choice last month in terms of what it is, so it might be removed because it does.
It does sound redundant.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're removing it.
Well, are they saying that we have to first figure out if a ferry is feasible, then put a ferry there? Is that what
Yeah,
they're
that's
saying?
what-
that's what it's saying.
Because part of that pier is falling into the water, maybe they're saying we have to look at it first. Before we bring a ferry to it.
They were supposed to be doing that, doing a survey and looking at the existing structures that was there.
And
Yeah.
we've submitted this office, we've submitted a request to EDC and I think Parks for that information, like the infrastructure, like the natural and artificial infrastructure and feasibility
Yeah.
work here. So we're waiting on the response.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
why
then
should we-
just put low,
So you're keeping this and then low?
yes,
Okay.
with the same wording.
Yes, keep, so we're not making changes. All right, and then the last one. NYPD should allocate, okay, I think this was also kind of a duplicate. NYPD should allocate existing resources toward improving police community relations. Increase accountability, communication, and transparency by NYPD can help to foster trust among East Harlem residents. Revise, because yes, I, at least the staff recommended a revise because it is very similar to, this one that we have up here. For increased resources for youth crime prevention, but if you opt to keep, you can keep, or revise, keep.
Even though, yeah, keep and high.
Keep it high, got it. All right.
The thing that I wanted to add was to create a,
You want to add a new budget request? Does it follow along this budget reference guide?
it should,
All right, well,
just lighting. And have better lighting in different areas in our neighborhood.
roof lighting, okay, so
It
that's
has to be
DLC. Repair or provide new streetlights. It's a capital request.
And then you wanted specific, an example on 117th Street between Park and all the way to Lexington.
Absolutely.
Plus for lighting on East 117.
That's just an example though, right?
As an example, yes.
Well, we need solidified language.
So we're only gonna
We're
request lights on
requesting
one street.
lighting
We
on,
can't do
no, request lighting. Request better lighting throughout East Harlem. As an example. on 117th Street between Park and Lexington. The lighting is inadequate. I don't know why that word is such a hard thing to get out of my mouth.
Okay.
Another thing added is to improve the sidewalks throughout East Harlem to make them less
Dangerous.
less dangerous. Well, no, to improve the city sidewalks so that the pavement is
Even.
level, as opposed to how it is now where people are falling and tripping over themselves. I am thinking of the language as I'm saying it.
Especially for seniors. Because and I can give you an example of where.
I have many examples. You could add links to it. So in other words, to improve the city side, East Harlem sidewalks so that they're more level throughout all of Harlem. Better,
Are there any other requests to add?
I think that's it.
Okay, so is the committee satisfied with, and what's the ranking that you want to give these?
The sidewalks high. Cause there are so many, I got so many pictures from so many people about how they're messed up.
Some people fall that.
Sidewalks high and the lighting?
The lighting is high, yes. That is public safety.
Okay, so
Visibility.
are you as a committee ready to finalize these requests and your priority rankings?
I think I would, I have some ideas, but I think if the meeting is on Monday,
No, these have to be finalized tonight.
No, this
They're
has to
not,
be
they're
finalized.
not accepting anything.
so what do you want us to say? Which,
Do you
order?
approve of our
Yes, we approve of
district
everything.
needs?
Yes.
But you have, there's a motion that needs to be made at this particular point.
Right. Okay,
The motion is,
someone should vote.
So I make a motion to accept the district needs, budget, and the priorities of each one.
Public Safety and Transportation Committee for fiscal year 2026. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
is there, and Jewel Jones seconds it.
Good job.
You want to call a roll for this one, or you, what would you like to do?
I think we should call a roll.
And seconded by, I'm sorry, Jewel?
Jewel Jones. I'm sorry. I know. Just like- I don't say.
Usually first on the roll call, so I'm waiting.
I know.
Okay, so I want to say that we currently have 7 members present. Double check. And if we have 7 present, 4 of course needed for this motion to pass. Jose Altamirano?
Yes.
Thank you. Pascal Hanam?
Yes.
Wanda Hopkins?
Yes.
Wanda.
I said
Christina
yes.
Johnson? Yes, thank you, Wanda.
Thank you, Wanda, you were heard.
Yes.
Christina, thank you, Christina. Jewel Jones?
Yes.
Thank you. Sage Mason?
Yes.
Thank you, Sage. Claudia's absent. Alex absent. Don Sanders?
Yes,
Thank you. Michelle Wilshire Clement?
absolutely.
Okay, motion passed. Thank you.
Beautiful.
We're moving forward.
Thank you, y'all.
Excellent.
Okay, so now we're on to old business. And our old business is the alternate side parking time change request.
Oh, wait, sorry, that's the first one.
Oh, did we change this?
Yeah, it's the most earliest stuff that we have not addressed. So the earliest that we haven't addressed is the discovery form changes proposed by the district attorney's office. You can just vote to support it or vote not to support it. The street preliminary request that was brought up last session with Ms. Carmack, the full board sent it back to this committee. Committee is supposed to re-review and give a final concrete decision and moving forward with that. And then
Okay.
we have other old business items as well. The alternate side parking and time change request. Supposed to see
Oh, I
this.
was going on the agenda side, I didn't realize it had moved around. Oh, yeah, it is alternate side time change part. Okay, so
So,
You're gonna see.
oh,
yeah, this is, might as well just take out the items that this has been on pocket since spring, should get rid of this.
discovery reforms and criminal justice system. How do y'all feel about this? We had it for a whole month, y'all. It wasn't, it's only 2 pages. All right. I'll just read this first paragraph here, the bottom line, the New York City Legislature's revisions of the state as evidentiary, this, oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't get some water.
The New York State Legislature's revisions of the state's evidentiary discovery laws in 2019 addressed unfair practices that has kept those charged with crimes unaware of the evidence against them. We firmly agree with the intent of these reforms and with most of the new statutory language. However, these changes have significant unintended consequences that undermine public safety by causing thousands of cases to be dismissed on legal technicalities. For reasons that have nothing to do with fairness, justice, or the intent of the discovery reforms, there is no time to waste. During this year's legislative session, the governor and lawmakers must amend the discovery statute in a way that continues to fully safeguard the rights of people accused of crimes while protecting victims and the community from the unintended consequences of the discovery reform.
And it goes on to say that a lot of people are abusing the system. Like if a receipt is not given in, that has absolutely nothing to do with the case. But it's part of discovery, and the whole thing would be, the whole case is thrown out. Go ahead.
Well, to understand the 3 recommendations that on the second part that are kind of important, like the systems of what the.
Requiring prejudice because dismissing a case for discovery non-compliance, requiring the defense attorney to challenge discovery violations within a timely manner. 35 days is for New York, and imposing a substantial compliance requirement. Basically, the timeline is very short in New York. And to get discovery for every receipt around something that doesn't really have to do with the case has been setting criminals free that should not be free because of the abuse of this particular nuance. How do you want to make that stand?
Did we have a presentation on this?
Yes, we did.
So this benefits more uniformed officers, right?
This benefits the system.
But it doesn't necessarily benefit the person accused? Because that's what I got from it. That's what I understood from the presentation.
It benefits the person who, well, the person who is innocent is always going to be innocent no matter what. I mean, that's it. Point blank. I mean, you are innocent until proven guilty.
I mean, my reading of this was a little bit like City of Yes, like I mean, obviously I deferred to the committee, but I didn't think it was just as cut and dry as going along with what the district attorney was
It is
saying.
not cut and dry.
Okay, okay.
It is not cut and
Joel
dry.
has
That's
more-
why I specifically use
Yeah.
the word, it is nuanced. Jose, would you like to add anything to this topic? Jose? Unmute yourself.
I'm sorry. Do you hear me? I was losing you for a second.
I can hear you, and we all can.
Okay, great. Oh,
We're talking about the discovery reforms and criminal justice system.
well, we had that pending. There were some concerns brought up. from Kenneth Crouch at the time. I think those questions, I don't think Kenneth is no longer on the committee, but those questions still are valid. This was put on to do a vote tonight, or what is the purpose?
For the committee to either support or reject or have no comment, because it's just been on, and it's been circulating in our docket since early spring, and the committee, I remember, Xavier wanted the committee to chime in on this and establish a position. And so we've been kicking the can down the road on this for a whole year now. So the committee needs to, yes, no, maybe so, or no comment or anything of that nature.
I did ask Kenneth Crouch to come this evening. And I do remember his comments were very similar, like, you know, people that need to be behind bars are getting out because of this discovery process that as it is now.
We had a presentation on it, but I don't believe it's been a whole year. But we had the break, so it's hard to say during the break. Session is not in effect in Albany yet. This is an Albany situation. This is not a city-wide effect. What they're trying to do is change. Excuse me. What they're trying to do is change this reform up in the state level. I think that you should get the concerns and then finalize next month, so that way any lingering concerns, because this will make a difference to people of color for a long time. You know, also you should reach out to the precincts to see how this affects them. If it's something positive, I think that's part of our, you know, we have great relationships with our precincts. This is coming from the DA's office, so I think their opinion is also valid in this situation. So I think forcing a vote right now wouldn't make much sense. I think you can easily do this next month, but do it next month, whether it's yes, no, or maybe. But I think that would probably be the most prudent, because this is a very big topic and it can't be taken like very lightly. This is not like street, you know, adding here or putting a stop sign, or it's something that will affect, you know, not just our community, but the entire New York City community. At least that's my opinion.
My opinion as well is quite similar. I have been trying to get a hold of the DA's office.
Okay,
There's been a lot of confusion that's been happening, obviously.
so you guys will opt to sincerely consider this item over the next month and then vote on it next month's meeting?
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Do you have the date that this meeting, this other, does anybody remember the date so we can go back and look at the video? Because I don't know how we just make snap.
Oh, we could, that we could just.
I can get it to
And
you.
I can get that information done.
If I come back in a month and I haven't looked at the video, I'm not gonna.
Oh, no, you're gonna get the video. I'm
snap
gonna
decision
make sure, because we
What
need to
happens
make a
to people of
decision on
color?
this, but I wanted to
That's
make
what I've
sure
done.
and get a hold of the district attorney's office,
Thanks for-
which I was not able to. And I'm going to get a hold of this in different ways, and this, you know, so. It's a high priority for me.
Okay, so then we'll just take a listen to this conversation, and I'll make sure you all have the recording and the fact sheet and the presentation, and have a concrete decision for next, so we can move forward. If you'd like, Chair.
Is everyone okay to move forward now?
Yes.
And
Yes.
get a promise from each person here that they will look at that video, that presentation, because we are going to vote on this. This
But
is,
if it's like City of Yes, where you could unwrap, keep unwrapping.
no, this is something that will affect a lot of people.
Right, so how do
We
you?
need to make a decision on how we are going to move forward.
That's cool. So this would be an opportunity for us to ask another community board or some other folks who are experts.
Oh, yes, I mean, that is the whole point. You're
Resolution, if you want, yes.
Can you guys read the discovery law? Like, it's New York State open, it's public information. So to make a decision, why not read it? Why not ask the committee to read it.
We
No,
wanna
you're
go back-
asking to watch a video. I'm saying read the
No,
law.
he just said that he's
The
gonna give us
video
the
is
fact
to
sheet
start.
and the information.
Yes, Kyoko, we had representatives from the DA's office come to before this committee and explain in depth the discovery reform changes, and it was about maybe 45 to an hour of a presentation, so
I was
that's
here
just.
for that. I was here for that, but what I'm saying is, you had the representation, they came out, they did the presentation, but they also are not the legislators. So if you read the legislation that is behind it, then you get a better understanding of on your own of what your decision could be. The DA's office has an opinion about it, but they're not the legislators on it.
This is true. However, we are going to move on because we'll disseminate this information, and I'm just wanting everyone to make sure that they do read it,
Yeah.
watch it. Delve into this information better.
Thank you, Kyoko, and we'll make sure that everyone has that information and to make a proper,
A definite decision.
okay, the next
Thank
item?
you. The next item that I have here is wait, I should look and see how you have it there.
The
Since
street,
you have that up.
the street co-naming
The street
request.
co-naming request.
Right, the committee last time opted to not support it, and then it brought forward to the full board meeting, and the individual representing the application made his case, and the full board requested that the committee re-review this application and come back with a solidified answer, so.
Well, the solidified answer is on the table now.
Question.
Can you hold on a second? I want to add further information. And we have two representatives here and people online that can offer further information about the street cleaning. I think it's the Lakeview TA.
Is that person, what's that person's name? They're. Oh, we have some guests.
We have some guests, but I
that are
just
not
want to make
allowed.
sure.
That are not allowed to speak, so I don't, we have a Cecil Brooks Jr., we have a Mark.
I don't see them.
We have a Teresa Richardson.
These are all the cab members, actually, two of them are cab members, Cecil and Teresa Richardson.
Oh, okay,
Who's the third person?
Mark Morozniak, I'm saying that wrong,
No,
Unfortunately,
excuse me.
so the Lakeview person is not here. Is William Smith here?
Well, I just texted him and he was supposed to be, but he actually told me this morning that he wouldn't be able to make it. Due to a conflict. Same thing with Joanne Lawson.
Okay,
From the Lakeview Tenants Association.
okay, so those were the two individuals that I thought that were going to be adding to the information.
Here's the, I mean, at the committee, you can vote to support this application, you can vote to not support this application because it doesn't meet. You honestly don't believe that the application is robust or there, like this individual meets this level of significance. But you just have to be just clear and succinct.
Oh, we're definitely making a decision at this
Okay,
point. I just knew that there were two, I thought there were two people that were gonna speak on this particular point that were online.
No,
And they're not. Okay, there are people in the room. Would you like to make a
In reference to Miss Denise Woman,
Yes,
to the co-naming of the street on 107th Street
60%.
Yes, it's East 107th Street and Fifth Avenue.
and Fifth Avenue, which is right by the Lakeview complex. On what we have are some signatures, but not all of them complete without, and not all of the phone numbers for at least half of them. We do have some of the letters of recommendation, but a lot of them are from,
He submitted all of the letters, he submitted, in terms of the requirements for the application to be even go before the committee. He satisfied those, you guys wouldn't have even seen this application if he didn't meet. the
even if
signature
all of
requirement.
the, half of them don't have phone
The
numbers?
phone numbers, no, what we are looking for is the name and we're looking for the address.
Okay,
That's definitely at least a requirement, that and 10 letters of support, biography. And a letter directed to chair with specific language and across all of the documentation. Name of the person, name of the street, location of the street, signatures for, signature signs from this person living on this address. That's within like a 2 block or reasonable radius of the location that they're requesting. And, if they don't meet those requirements, I don't even bring it before the committee, so they satisfy that. So even if they make those numbers, that's another thing, but then of course the committee, you could make the determination that we don't feel that this person is as significant as, is being put before us, and we do not vote to support this application, and so forth like that. And then also bear in mind, this is just the community board's recommendation input. City council, which this falls under Yusuf Salam's district, they have the deciding factor of, establishing street code namings. There are multiple that the community boards do not revise or are aware of. Going to the community board is just also asking for another letter of support. So that's just for, we're all aware of. In the
Yes,
public.
you are aware.
Good, okay.
Okay. Does anyone want to add any information on this particular co-naming of the street?
Do we have a letter of recommendation from, the city council member, Yusuf Salam?
No,
No.
that's also circular because the council member is looking for a letter of support from us.
Right, so I just. I know that there's a lot of feelings about renaming in that area. Because there was when Schaumburg became Heritage Building, the residents felt like the names was changed without their okay. And it was, because they just said, we're calling it the Heritage now. And I just feel like, for example, if someone came to Yusuf Salam and said, let's rename Schaumburg again, he would say, well, ask the residents, make sure they're okay with it, because there's people who've been here 40 years, 50 years, make sure. So I feel like we have to do the due diligence to make sure, like, I don't know what Joanne is thinking and other people, but way back when we had meetings about Lakeview changing ownership 2 or 3 times, and those meetings went until midnight, 1 a.m. And the people who were there are people like Joanne and other people who were up all night. This was way back. I'm not saying now who's doing stuff, but way back, when the verandas were falling apart and people had to come together just to get the new management to do the right thing, you had people there, and those people should be able to speak on behalf of that building. I don't wanna.
And to speak to that, now, the new owner has done a phenomenal job about restoring a Fifth Avenue address. Some of the issues outside of that are the boundaries. So it's not just, it's East 107th Street. That entire block, there's issues there, I feel, need our attention more so than a street naming. Not to limit it to East 107th Street, but the entire area. There's increased crime on Madison Avenue between East 106 and 107. There's crime, and a lot of it has to do with some of the lighting on Fifth Avenue between East 106 and 107. We have an issue on East 106 and 107. So I feel right now, the street naming is not in the best interest. As well as some of this, okay, now I understand that he's supplied all of the documentation necessary. I'm not confident in those documents. I'm not confident in what he's provided. Also, I do think that further review needs to be done, just as like a background, and determine, okay, does this individual meet those requirements as far as having an impact on not just maybe Lakeview, but outside of Lakeview? What'd you say, like a 2-block area?
2 or 3 block area, that's just for the signatures, but it's.
But the signatures are just within the 2 to 3 blocks, but the significance of the person does not need to be confined to the 2 or 3 blocks.
It has to be.
It has to be more so with the community.
With the community, that's right, okay.
So only the signatures.
Yeah.
And at this point, we want to make a decision whether to recommend this person's
Recommend or don't.
co-naming. And the person has said that since they started in April, they've been very persistent on us making a decision. And they don't want to be left hanging, and I don't want to leave them hanging. I would like to make a decision. Are we ready to make a decision again on the street co-naming? To, or not to, Denise Carmack? Are we ready to make a decision?
Well, I have a question first. Sorry. Why was it denied the first time around?
Did you read the information?
I did it, but I didn't see it.
Why was it denied by this committee or denied, or at least why was it this?
Why was it sent back to us?
So, from the recording, it's a little bit rough to put into words right now, but basically from the recording, I want to maybe summarize that the board wanted a much more concrete reasoning as to why the application was being rejected or not supported. And especially since the applicant went to the full board and stated his case and his experience with trying to get this reviewed, it gave the full board enough reason to send it back to the committee and thoroughly review it and give a concrete, legitimate reasoning answer as to why it's voting to not support this application. And so in the motion, I would suggest saying the committee has this, we deciding to not support this application due to the a lack of confidence in the materials brought forward, or the individual, we believe that the individual does not have the level of significance as stated in the application, but it just has to be specific.
That was dated at full.
The way you,
Well, it can't come from me. It has
It
to
was stated at full board, but, what did you wanna say?
no,
wanna
actually,
make a motion?
well, the language, I mean, I didn't know how to phrase it, but that language is how I would state it. She'll have the confidence that don't have the confidence in the documentation I'll present. That's one. Two, I don't feel that the individual has the impact. That's the way you want to say it. As far as naming a street for them, it might be better suited for someone else, and I'm not just
No, but
saying.
we're not going to someone else, we wanna confine it to
Yes.
So,
this particular person. Miss D's place and her family. We don't want to go to another name. Yes, Dawn.
so in my too many years of being here, to rename a street, person has to have influence outside of the building. I was missed yesterday's meeting because my dad, who built all these buildings, I wanted to name the street for him in Wisconsin, and the church said no. So I got the building named after him. The point is that if your influence is in that building, then you should work within that building to rename the building or put a plaque or whatever. If that's your building, you can't take ownership of the entire street.
Okay, so let us. Thank you, and I'm glad that your father was able to be honored in that way.
After you're gone, that's what they do. But thank you.
But now let us concentrate and bring it back. And put it into words. What we want to say. In response to this individual. In other words, someone make a motion. About yay or nay. For the street co-naming of Denise Carmack, Miss D's place. Yes. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Who's that?
Jose had his mic off for a second, but that must have been.
Okay.
It might have been a mistake.
Dawn, did you want to make the motion?
I think although Misty had an enormous impact on Lakeview houses, the entire block is not does not recognize Lakeview as the entire
We need a
Wait.
motion, though. We need a motion.
So the motion is, whereas she's a wonderful person, we do not believe that her influence throughout that block merits a street renaming.
I'll second Dawn's motion to deny the street co-naming request of Miss Eve's place.
Any motion to deny the street co-naming due to,
You don't have
The
to give a
influence-
particular reason.
It's being centralized to one building.
Due to the lack of,
significance.
I mean, I don't know if the stuff was forged or not, I'm just saying.
we're not
All right.
going there.
You don't have to
So
go-
I'm saying that, what I just said, the influence is centralized to a building and not to the entire block.
I
And
don't think you have to
community.
give a reason to say, to deny.
I don't,
Motion-
we
The
never
motion
had
is
to
to
get-
deny, that's all.
We never had to do this.
I've had to do it though.
But can we start it with, although we understand that she is.
Keep the motion simple. I understand what you're saying.
No, but
yeah.
he's coming at us saying that there's something wrong with us, so I just wanna say that. We understand that she's a wonderful person, because he came to the meeting talking about you guys don't care and, I'm not gonna go back and forth. We can say something nice about her and then say no. But if we wanna just say no, that's fine, but I would say something nice about her at the beginning of that motion.
We have the motion, can you read it?
So I have here, Don Sanders made a motion to deny the street co-naming request.
Due to lack
Due
of,
to the limited significance of the.
That's not what I said. I didn't say it.
Then help me out because you're. going-
Let me get my laptop and type it up and send it to you.
You might be making this too complicated. You could just deny.
Right, only thing I said was,
it was not accepted as just denied previously.
You don't have to
That's-
give a paragraph explanation as to the denial.
That's why it was sent back to the
Yeah.
committee.
well, I think it was sent back because we didn't have enough people speaking for it that lived on that block.
We
So
denied
I-
it last time. I'm not sure why it was sent back.
He wanted an explanation and I'm trying to put one together and it's not what you just said.
And the full board, then, yeah, he wanted the explanation on full board, Jose, during June, and what the response that this committee could give wasn't satisfactory to the full board, which is why it was sent back to this committee.
I don't know if that's true,
Yeah.
that wasn't satisfactory to the.
I mean, look, the topic at hand was that the community impact wasn't present. We understand that she was a wonderful woman and a great individual, but she did not have a community impact. That's why we had
Beyond her building, beyond her building.
beyond their building.
That's why people get the building named after them.
Yep.
Whole street. But I think you might have to let Jose give the motion.
So let Jose-
Okay, so I have a
I'm
motion.
not gonna-
Made it, so Blank made a motion to deny the street co-naming request due to the limited significance of the honorees' impact beyond their building.
Jose, are you okay with that?
Are you okay with that, Jose?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
I will second that.
Unfortunately, you can't because you're technically not a member anymore right now, so we can have a discussion later. I'll second it.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll have a discussion with Xavier.
So it was it Dawn's motion and I second, or is it my motion and?
You motioned it and.
I'm fine
and-
either, I'm fine either way.
Is that done?
Yeah, I know, I have my own way of putting it, so, but if Jose is fine with how it was put, then let's do it, let's go forward.
Okay.
The second, call my name, and say yes, no.
All right, so we have that motion to deny street co-naming request due to limited significance of the honorees impact, the intended honorees impact beyond their building. Motion seconded by Pascal sorry. I can do roll call or?
Roll call, definitely with this, please.
Okay, Jose Altamirano?
In favor.
Motion to deny, correct, okay. Pascal Hamel? In favor. Wanda Hopkins? Wanda?
Unmute yourself, Wanda.
Yes.
Thank you, Wanda.
Sorry.
Christina Johnson?
Yes.
It's okay, Wanda. Joel Jones?
Yes.
Thank you. Sage Mason?
Yes.
Thank you, Sage. Don Sanders?
Yes.
Thank you. Michelle Wasara Clement?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes to deny the street co-naming raising as stated in the record, yes, and passed unanimously. Perfect. Alrighty. Alternate side parking change request. Does the committee have a recommendation for a suitable time frame that we can bring forward to DSNY and DOT?
8 to 10:30, I mean, 8 to 9:30?
Yeah.
Because it's 4:30 in the morning now, right?
Right, it's 4:30 to 6 a.m. now, and we want it to be comparable to the rest of the area.
Does that, so I'm just trying to think of 126, this is over by the school. 126,
Oh, East one
One
twenty-four.
twenty-four to 128.
Right.
126 is part of it.
Yes, it's along those segments, yes.
I thought someone had mentioned, because some people came here, I thought that they were interested in like at least 8 o'clock, 8 to 9:30.
Mhm.
Or is it 8:30 to 10? Is this,
It's
is
8 to 9:30.
is it?
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, but in that area, isn't it 8:30 to 10 or
Uh,
11 to 1:30? So I would motion 8:30 to 10. To
Khalid,
be-
are we sure it was 100, it was 124th Street?
124th to 128th.
So the person who made the request, they were like really specific about the street that they, live on, but the alternate side parking regulations stretch from 124th to 128th. So it would make sense to make the request across the segment.
Absolutely. It makes perfect sense. And that's
It
a
makes sense.
horrendous time to change your car about 4:30 to 6. It's crazy.
So Don, are you making that motion for 8?
I make a motion that, we suggest to DOT to change the alternate side parking rules to 8:30 AM to 10 AM.
On Third Avenue.
Oh, yeah,
To 9:30.
on
Sorry.
Third Avenue between East 124th and 128th Streets.
8:30 AM to 10 AM, right?
9:30.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, 8:30 to 9:30.
No, but I think over there, if you're parking, it's 8:30 to 10. So then if everybody moves at the same time, it's cooler than if, because I don't know any place that it's 8 to 9:30. Or Jose, do you know any place that it's 8 to 9:30? I know it's 8:30 to 10 some places.
Yeah, most places start at 8:30.
Yeah, I think we should give them an extra 30 minutes to sleep.
Most places are 8:30, there's a 10 or 8:30 to 11 for street cleaning. Majority.
Majority is 8:30 till
You
11.
can do
But if-
8:30 to 10 because that area is very transited and that Third Avenue.
But Jose, as soon as you cross First Avenue, for example, that's 11:30 to 1, right?
They're all different because it's depending when
Yeah.
sanitation passes.
Okay, never mind.
So because that's earlier, I would just keep it as 8:30 to 10.
Mhm.
Okay,
Second.
seconded by Pascal. Excuse me, Pascal. No. You want to do roll call for this one, Chair?
I don't think we really need to do, you can just do a show of hands.
Want to, or if there are any objections, you can go by that if you'd like.
Any objections to a show of hands? This is to agree with the motion that Dawn has made, second.
I agree. Aye.
Okay. That was unanimous.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Oh, wait, let's go.
Yeah, second.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, but you still have to.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure. That was unanimous.
Perfect. Okay, so from here, if there is a process, I think I've explained it before.
You have to write a letter.
Yes, we have to notify DSNY, and there also has to be a public hearing, which is technically during the full board meeting. But right, moving forward from here, so we'll initiate the process from here. So 8:30 AM to 10 AM, perfect. All right, next item, daylighting, traffic intersection safety improvement strategy. They came before us last month. They've also, Emily's here with us virtually. They provided a resolution for us, thank you, that is centric to CB11 metrics. You take a look at it and opt to adopt it, or.
Do we,
Also, and Emily has her hand raised.
okay, Emily?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much again. I just wanted to say that the resolution It can be drafted or revised any way you see fit under the therefore it be resolved. It says all intersections, but I remember in our last conversation, you maybe wanted to start with specific ones or maybe even around senior centers or schools or community centers. So that can all be revised as well. So it doesn't have to be all intersections. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for that nuance, and I wanted to add that, even though this is taking precious parking spaces away from our neighborhood, it has demonstrated that it does save lives. And our community would not be a community without us being alive, first of all. And there being so many deaths just because people just can't see around the corner, they can't see who's right there. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yes, Dawn.
I like where this is going. I do feel a little weird having a nonprofit come that's not really based in our community and give us suggestions. I know DOT is aware of them, but I think those types of resolutions should go through, you know.
Oh, no, this is to be nuanced.
Oh, okay,
Definitely, this is not as is.
yeah.
Right, when it's on the table is are we for daylighting? Do we want to be part of that program that is being put out by the DOT to make
But
visibility?
this is not, Raphael said that this is not his program. He's aware of it, but it's not his program. So I have a concern because over the last 25 years, every time a parking space was taken away, it was made permanent and it was expanded and it was not shared with us. And so, and I don't even want to go through the examples, but even like with the lady with the teachers, that the parking lot across the street was supposed to be $6 for the whole day. That was what we agreed to when we gave up all the parking for the bus lanes. Nobody wants to hear me talk about it. I get it. But anytime we've been promised community agreements over the last 20 years, people do not stick to those. And if you could tell me one example where they took away parking and then came back and asked us, how are things going? Do you want to have a car share here? Do you want a permanent? Do you want this? Can your seniors get out in front of their church? Oh, I don't care. There's a bike lane. They can't get out in front of the church. Well, that wasn't what we agreed to 15 years ago. When we gave up all the space, that's not what we agreed to. So I have an issue with a nonprofit coming and saying, oh, this is innocent. And it's based on Amsterdam and New Jersey. Like, I would rather have something that's grounded in real transportation study here. Or let the residents decide where to daylight. Go around and find out where the residents want to. And then talk to DOT and make sure DOT didn't already plan something.
We can do that. The whole purpose of this, however, is are we in agreement with to have daylight?
Right. So I'm just giving my comments.
As a concept, to have it as a concept, and then to suggest where we want to have it would be secondary, which we would add it to this. Well, we don't have to.
No,
we would add it to it.
Just for clarification as well, these individuals, when they submitted their application for presentation, they requested a letter of support. So that would include the committee coming up with language, either adopting this language or coming up with its own, or adopting this with edits and conditions, et cetera, so forth like that. So that's what you guys have to do tonight, at least with this item.
I think they should go back to DOT, discuss and find out which intersections are the most dangerous. And then we decide which ones need to be addressed first. And then we have to talk to the people who live on that block for a change and make sure that they're okay with that. But so, in other words, because what we used to do in the community board is people could have like they could dissent from what everybody else thought, and they can give pros and cons. So I'm giving my cons. However the board wants to weigh in, my answer will be no. But that's up to you guys. I'm speaking for other people who aren't here, and I can't always have the same agreement with everybody. It's just impossible. No, I'm just saying, we don't all agree.
I understand.
Okay.
We don't all agree. Like, I'm just trying to see you, that's all.
Okay. Right, I'm saying con. And
Okay.
and one thing that you're gonna be mad, you're gonna kick me out.
No.
Gail Brewer said that when she used to come to Board 11, people were afraid to come to her board. They didn't just show up telling us whatever, do whatever you want to do. And someone said at the last meeting, Francis Mastrota used to stand on a chair and scream. Our board used to hold it down. Our board didn't let people just come in and hear everybody just kumbaya. So, you know, I just want to put that out there that I'm learning from the old heads that used to really, they used to tear these meetings up, right? So I'm saying my cons and then, you know, that's it.
Madam
Someone
Chair,
had-
I have my hand raised. I just have a few questions.
Go ahead.
I'm just unaware of this. If someone could explain it quickly to me, because I missed last month's meeting. Is there a timetable on this? This is a DOT, this is their firm that works through DOT, because Rafael may not have access to everything, but do they work through DOT? Is this going to start soon, and what is the objective of this?
It is not,
Emily's.
Oh, Emily.
She can.
you can give the direct. Go ahead, Emily, speak up
Hi.
on this.
Okay, awesome. So, universal daylighting, it's basically a street design. It's part of DOT Safe Street Toolkit that they have, and they'll often use some of these designs around the city when there has been an accident or something, you know, fatal has happened at the intersection. They'll often go back and daylight those spaces. We are not affiliated with the DOT. We kind of just go to community boards to provide an informative like presentation, because many of you may have seen these intersections around the city and might be confused or unsure of what they are. So we kind of just wanted to provide an explainer. And if the neighborhood, you know, feels compelled to do something, such as maybe supporting the measure or maybe identifying some intersections that they know could benefit from universal daylighting. We also have that resolution or letter of support that they can kind of take and modify as needed. I also wanted to, back to kind of Dawn's question about the intersections. Crash Mapper, the site that I had used in my slide deck a month ago, that is a great tool to really identify where there's the most fatalities in Community Board 11. So if folks are interested in kind of identifying the top 10 or 20 intersections, that's a really great tool, and I'm more than happy to help identify those. Alternatively, if the board feels like maybe they want to start with something like just schools or senior centers or community centers instead of just blanket all intersections, that's also an option.
And how does your company benefit from giving us this information?
We are a nonprofit that really works towards creating a safer city. I think, you know, in all communities across the city, we've seen many tragic deaths and accidents, mostly children and seniors. And so our goal is to just, you know, have people, you know, be more, I guess, aware of what's happening and what they can do as a community to stop these accidents from happening or preventing them. So our goal really is to provide some information.
So
And
any
create
design that you provide directly to our community board, not to DOT or any other city agency. You provide it to us and then wait on our feedback. Is that correct?
Yes, but this is street designs that are part of DOT's like toolkit already. So they're kind of it's basically their work, and we're just like providing a little explainer for it.
And you're saying like this could work here, this could work here. But it is to us that you're giving this report to directly to the community board.
Absolutely, because you know, we always say that the board members are the eyes and ears of the community. They're the experts. You guys know what changes or what improvements need to be made. So we really just want to provide the information, and then you guys can kind of take it and run with it however you see fit.
But thank you
Is
for
there
the
a timeline
explanation, because I think that would answer most of Dawn's questions as well as mine, because I was also
Well, I wanted to know
just
where their
wasn't
funding
informed.
comes
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thanks.
I think I might have missed that.
No, the chair was speaking.
Is there a timeline that you need on this?
There's no timeline. Yeah, I'm happy to you know, meet again in November if you need some more time. But yeah, really up to you guys.
Can you also put the site in the chat?
Yes, I can do that.
And your funding is federal?
We receive some grants, like, for example, with our school streets work that we do. I unfortunately don't know. I'm the community organizer, so our annual report is available online, and I'm happy to share that with you. I don't have all of the information, but it's mostly, grassroots that work that we do.
Okay, thank you. Jill Jones? I just want to know, other community boards that you've gone to and if you've received their support
Yeah,
on
great
the
question.
team, specifically.
Yeah, so for in Manhattan, so far we have worked with 20 community boards that have passed resolutions in the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. Boards 1 through 9 have passed resolutions on supporting universal daylighting, and then we recently presented to Community Board 10, who they are waiting until the next month to have the discussion, but they did say that they understand that there's a real need for public safety, and especially for their seniors. They felt they really resonated with that, and then having those concrete extensions. We also presented to the Harlem Neighbors Block Association and received a letter of support from them, and then also El Barrio Bikes here as well. And then I also dropped the link to the slide deck in the chat.
And thank you. Thank you. So based on the information that we have received and that we have even further questions, I think we should table this until the following month. And we can delve into it deeper. Pascal, did you have anything to add?
Not trying to explain everything, I just wanted to make a motion to table this.
Okay.
Motion to table this until next month's committee meeting, so we can make edits to the resolution presented for us.
But we don't need to really make a motion to table something.
Not really, no, we can just table it.
We can just table it.
You guys just sincerely review it and next month have a, an edited document. Thank you very much, Emily.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Emily.
Emily.
Thank you all.
And we back the following month. And do you have like, the information, the questions that we asked about, where your funding comes from, can you send that to us?
Absolutely, yeah. I can find a link to our annual report and send that all to you.
Thank you, I would appreciate it.
Thanks all. Have a great night.
You have a great evening. Okay, so how are we doing with our agenda?
Last item.
Oh, alrighty then. So. I just want to give this out to everybody that is here. I'll keep one and put this down towards this way.
Oh, I have this. I already wrote these up in my notes.
No, you don't have the agenda part onto it. Thank you though. The flyer part.
So. Is it
So-
safe to say I can just copy it?
No, this is an agenda in progress.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, this is I don't have one to put online because it's not so neat. Basically, oh, thank you.
Yes, but it's not.
Basically, we have our keynote speaker, which is Sergeant Tiffany Howe, which is the NYPD's Collaborative Policing Youth Agency strategy. We have the place, which will be in the Silverman Building. We have, we're working on getting the district attorney's office. I have still yet to get a connection. I've been.
Yeah, but that I can help you.
Yeah. I'm going like all different avenues to get through. And also to make sure that they can come every month and we used to have a good connection and it fell apart when the other person was left.
Sharima, I think that was Sharima Harpel, but I don't know if she's still with them. I haven't heard from her, like, via emails or anything recent, but yeah, we can, maybe, we have Ty already heard that, that's more the youth component, but we can definitely find out who their public safety component rep is.
Great. So I would like to have them as a contrast, and we have, GOSA or SAVE, and we have that confirmed. Silicon Harlem, the drone cadets, I want to reconfirm. I just spoke with that individual yesterday.
And we'll have like maybe 2 or 3 more companies, programs, to come and speak with us, but it would be more of very quick, and the deeper conversation would happen over lunch as it did last year. I'm still trying to confirm the Manhattan Borough President will be coming to introduce, as well as Xavier. I don't want to just assume that he's going to come and introduce us. The dean of the CB11M School of Social Work has confirmed that she will come and introduce. So we have a good working agenda at the present moment. It is up to us to send out and put it on our social media so that people know that this is happening, because this is something that is for our community. And to collaborate and to not reinvent the wheel, but to find out what we all are doing to make our community safer, and how we can make it, and how we can improve on what we already have. I will ask for each person to hopefully keep that Saturday open so that you can come and help out during that day for registration and for whatever. I will make a list of tasks so that we can fulfill them. And please put the flyer on social media. Yes, Joe Jones.
Is that QR code operational? Because this is what came up when I did it. It says pre-register as well. Is that even?
You did register.
Oh, is that-
Yeah,
that's what- that's what
you signed in the first
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
You're a VIP.
So that you already signed it.
So that happened.
Yeah, when you already signed it.
And
I'm boycotting this conference.
You better come, Jose.
Can you bring pizza before you boycott?
Are we having pizza, Michelle?
That was the next thing that I was going to ask. Khalid, did you find out if we have funding?
Oh, that's Angel, he's the one that deals with the fiscal operations for, I don't have access to that, so you'd have to ask Angel directly. What funding do we have for publicity?
We did vote to whatever funds that were available to put it into.
Okay, so
But
Michelle, I
we
think
did-
you'll have to call Angel tomorrow. I'm not, Khalid, is he back yet or is he still out?
Yes, he's back.
So
I
just
will
call
need
tomorrow. And if there is funding, we could use the same, you have to use a vendor that is already in the system. There is a pizzeria that we use. It's the same one that we used last year. But yeah, we don't have access to use this funding just anywhere or everywhere. It has to be someone that is in the city system, like there's a whole process for it. Just so everyone understands, because not everyone likes pizza, but you know.
Oh, no, we're having pizza again if we do get the funding. We will repeat the way that we did the food,
Perfect.
and I will do the breakfast. Yes. Unless people would like to chip in, but that's what I did.
I know an anonymous donor.
If anonymous donor I would love an anonymous donor. So that is where we are now. Anything else? We've already voted on a subcommittee that we can discuss this outside of being recorded. So at this point, I would say, let us.
Sorry, but just before. Real quick, Xavier did ask us to let the committee know about sincerely considering joining PSA 5 Community Council, their meeting schedule. So he gave us this flyer. I can share it with the committee tomorrow. Well, I come back on Monday, sorry. And
Their meeting is the same night as the general board meeting.
like the fourth Tuesdays of each month, right?
Yes, he said
Right,
he
so
would excuse us from that. If one of us goes, we don't all go.
right.
However, there was no time on the flyer. Yes, you have a time on it?
Yes, their meetings are the same exact time as ours is. So I'm going to volunteer to go because I need to go, and I was gonna ask to be excused to go to this next
You're
meeting.
technically doing board business, so we can discuss that with Xavier.
However, you need to take great notes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so just wanted to iterate that,
Okay.
So
Yes.
we're gonna put it on the table that the name
Christina Johnson,
will go to the,
PSA 5 general meeting
instead of,
the general board community board meeting.
because this is doing the business of,
Doing the business of the community board.
thank you. On the record. Not to lead you in what you're saying. And so now,
Now I know what Pinocchio felt like.
well, Xavier's language, we should encourage each member of the committee to attend at least one meeting from PSA 5, 23rd, and 25th precinct council meetings. So that's something up for discussion.
Well, he sent me to two already, so.
yeah,
So you've made your point, right?
No, I mean, I'm happy to do more, but.
well, at this point,
We can discuss it further, later.
at a later time, but for now, we have the PSA 5. And that's coming up right
On
away,
the 23rd.
so that's good. I went to the 2-5 yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry, just to make a note, there's no November and there's no December meeting for
Right.
PSA
Correct.
5.
Right.
So,
That was in the email.
okay,
Thank you, though.
good luck.
Okay, so. At this point, do we have any other thing okay, so let us close and do roll
All
call,
business, okay, perfect.
because the new business is
It's
basically
basically that, excellent, all right.
one of the first goal is the safety awareness conference.
All right, we'll call Jose Altamirano.
Here.
Thank you. Pascal Hanu. Here. Thank you. Wanda Hopkins.
Present.
Thank you. Christina Johnson.
Present.
Jewel Jones.
Present.
Sage Mason. Hey,
Unmute yourself.
I'm here, sorry.
thank you, Sage. Don Sanders.
Yes.
Michelle Wilshire-Clement.
Present.
Good to go.
And so at 9:18, I have to take my glasses off to see this. I officially close this meeting.
You know, this is.
I can't believe I have all this stuff left.
Oh, no,